artists! So today we are going to be starting your pizza chart for the elements of art and design. These are the materials that you'll need. You'll need a ruler, a 10 by 10 sheet of paper, a pencil, and a Sharpie if you want. So in order to make your pizza chart, what you're going to do is take a ruler, this is a see-through one, and make a border all the way around using a 1/2 inch. This is what it should look like, so the 1/2 inch will have a nice edge around so that way you can write down the different sections and their names. So in order to do that, what you're going to want to do is look at your ruler and see where the 1/2 inch is and just do a little tick mark. In at least 2 different areas on one side. I like to be very careful with that, and I like to do 3, just so that way I know it's all lined up. Do another one. Then you're going to take your ruler, and you can go all the way across the paper, but just know because we're doing a border on all the sides, you'll eventually have to erase these 2 parts. So we'll do it again, 1/2 inch. Drawing a line across. You're going to want to do this on all 4 sides. Last one. When I make the tick marks, I like to have one on the top of it, more towards the top of the page, more towards the middle of the page, and then more towards the lower end of the page. Okay. Now, once you have all of that drawn out, what you're also going to want to do is flip over your paper and write your name on the back. Just like that. Probably use a pencil so that way the Sharpie doesn't bleed through the page. Okay, and now once we've had the 1/2 inch of border, we're going to do 4 different lines to split up the different sections. We're going to have 8 sections total, but only 7 of them will be filled in with the different elements of art. This one up here towards the top, that's just going to be something labeling it so that we know what it is. So for these 4 lines, we're going to do one that goes directly across, like a nice diagonal. Make sure the corners are lined up. Pencil over it. We're going to do one on the other side, so it's like a giant X. We're going to split it in half. And then we're going to split this side in half too. Okay. Now, I'm not going to use a Sharpie for this example. I used one on this just so that way I could see the different sections and where they were. So if you want to use a thin Sharpie, not a thick Sharpie, a thin Sharpie to make the lines a little bit more distinct, then go ahead. So after we've done the 4 different lines to split it up, we're going to write down the different sections. This one's going to be blank on the top here, because this is the elements of art section. This is the first one over here, it's going to be line. The next one down here is going to be shape. Down here at the bottom is color. Value to the left of it. Then form, texture, and then space. You might want to go over these in Sharpie so that way it doesn't smear when you're working on the different sections. So I'll do that right now. So as we're working on this, we're going to be moving in a clockwise position. So we're going to start in line this section, and then we're going to work our way down this way, around, over here, up. We're going to finish with space. So now if you want to, you can take an eraser and just erase these corner parts. Makes it a little bit neater so that way it looks like a full round border instead of lines jutting off the edge. You can also erase over the Sharpie you already did. Erase the tick marks in case they weren't in line properly. And so once you have this all set up, one of the last things that you're going to be doing now is filling in this section. Now this is going to be a design that'll essentially create itself as you work on the different sections. So because line is the first one, we're just going to be using line to do this section. This is going to be the elements of art section. So in a creative way, you're just going to write out elements of art and fit it in this space. So in this one I kind of did a more cursive design as the writing using line. This time maybe I'll do it a little bit more blocky. Try it like that. You can leave it like this for now. We'll be going back to it as we move through the different sections. But just to go over everything that we did, so we made the pizza chart. We did our names on the back of it. We did a 1/2 inch border all the way around the edge using a pencil. We also made the 4 different lines. You can go over it in Sharpie if you want to. And then we did the titles on the sides, and then we did the elements of art. We started to work on this. We'll be going back to it later. And that's everything. So hopefully you guys will enjoy this little adventure going around the pizza chart and see it evolve as we work on it some more. Bye!